Good morning. Today I'm going to show you and demonstrate in Inventor how to create some of the blocks. This is covering assignment 20 blocks, 4, 5, and 7 is the one that we're going to be covering. The learning goal, I can create a 3D part using addition and subtraction methods. So we're going to show you how to use the line tool, the projected plane, and the loft tool. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you'll have to do is open this 20 isometric parts, and I already have that open right here. And let's start. I'm going to demonstrate how to get started with this one with number 1. So the first thing we need to do is figure out how large of an item we have here, and go ahead and create the 3D solid of the whole part with nothing, and then we'll cut these parts out. So if sometimes if you extend these lines down a little bit, it'll kind of help. So if we count how wide this is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're 9 blocks wide. So 9/4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each one of these units are 1/4 of an inch. So we have 9/4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4 parts would be 1 inch plus one more would be 1 1/4 inches. But 5 by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's go ahead and get started. So now on here, you're going to start a new part. Now, make sure a better way might be for you to click New and make sure you're in the English folder and you're going to start a standard IPT part. Make sure you're not still in the metric. So we'll go ahead and click there and we'll start with the sketch. We're going to start in the front and we are going to do a rectangle. And I always start on the origin. And we'll go up to here, hit dimension. We want this one to be 9/4. So 9 is the number of grids, and we'll divide by 4 since they are 1/4 of an inch. And that zoomed off the screen. So, and it is supposed to be 5/4 tall. There we go. And I always go back to here, say finish sketch, and then extrude. And now let's go back to our object and see how deep we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6/4. So we'll extrude it here 6/4. There we go. And then I will auto zoom there. All right. So now there's our object and we'll say, okay, so there is our object and we're ready to start. Now, to go from here, something different that we haven't used yet is I'm going to draw this line in right here and then I'm going to cut this segment out here. So let's try to draw this line in the front face. So I'll need to know that the top of the line is 3/4 over from this corner and the bottom point is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over. So 3 over and 5 over, 5/4 and 3/4. So if I go back here, click here and sketch. And now first I'm just going to do a line from the top. Make sure you get that little icon showing that you're on this line. The little icon with the red line, arrow pointing to the red line, that means I'm on this line. So I want a line and I'll put it over about here, about where it goes. And I'm just guessing where it goes. And go all the way down to this line. And again, make sure you have that icon. This isn't touching that line yet. It's close, but it's not touching. Soon as you get that constraint, it's called, and then you're ready to start drawing the line. So I drew my line in. Now I need to get this line in the proper location. I use the dimensioning, and from this corner to this corner is supposed to be 3/4 of an inch. So I'll go 3/4. There we go. And from this corner to this corner is supposed to be, and I can't remember, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/4. Okay. Oops. 5/4. There we go. Now, if I finish the sketch, now I have a line. Now, I'm going to cut this part back in here a ways. How deep do I need to go? Well, let's go back to our sketch. And here it looks like we need to go back 1/2 inch or 2/4. So when you do the extrude, now it doesn't have any idea, since I don't have a closed object like a square, a rectangle, or a circle to extrude, it doesn't have any idea what I want to extrude at this point. However, if you just have a line, if you pick the line and then go over and pick the side that you want to extrude. So now it's extruding this side, and right here in the box, or you can use this one, I'm going to change this to a distance, and I want to do a cut. So I'm cutting back this way for a distance of a 1/2 inch, 0.5, and there it is right there. So you have to select the line and then click on the side that you want to cut and then say OK. So there I have that one. Now let's go ahead and make that line, same line in the back here. And now when you create a line on the back side, don't lock it to this other line. That locks your point to the end point of that other line, and it will mess things up. So I am just going to start a line from here down to here. Make sure you're from line to line, and then go ahead and dimension, and it's the same dimension. This is 3/4, and from here to here is 5/4. And say finish sketch. And now I'm going to extrude, click the line, click this half. We're going to do a cut, distance, and it should be 0.5. Say OK, and then go back home, and now we just need to cut one more line here. So if we go back to our object, we just need to cut from here to here. So when I draw this line in, let's see, this top corner is 1, 2, 3, 4 over from our point, and this goes all the way down to the bottom corner. So 4/4, or 1 inch there. And so if I go up here and I say cut, or I'm sorry, we're going to sketch a line in this surface, and my line is going to go from this corner. Make sure it's on the green dot and look at the constraint now. It's showing that it's constrained to a corner. See how it changes from a line to a corner? Make sure you're right on that corner and just sketch it up here. Make sure you're on the line. Dimension. And now sometimes it's better to dimension in this view to make sure I'm selecting this corner and not this one. So I'm going to dimension from that corner to this corner, and that should be 1 inch. There we go. Finish the sketch. Extrude. Here. This half. Cut. And distance. And we want to go all the way through this one. And say OK. Once you have that done, go ahead and go File, Save As. And this is, why don't you create a new folder instead of 12 blocks? Now let's create a new folder and call it 20 blocks. And we'll go in there and we will call this block 1. Now it's going to be a little confusing because we have a block 1 in our 12 blocks folder as well. But we'll call this block 1, and as long as we save it in the 20 blocks folder, I think we'll be okay. Yeah, it seemed to say fine. So now you will use this same technique for creating this one, this one, this one. And on the next video, I'll be showing you how to do these two down here. So you'll have to tune in for the next video. Good luck on creating more shapes in Inventor.